This is your 2020 Cadillac XT6. Cadillac calls it a mid-size plus crossover because the XT5 is technically their mid-size crossover, and it's not a full-size because, well, that's what the Escalade's for. So mid-size plus is what we're going to go with. Quirks, perks, and irks, starting with the front end. I like it. I really do. I wish the Cadillac logo was a little bigger. Not quite double the size, but a little bigger. But no matter, it still looks good. Love the turn signals because they flash amber white, amber white, amber white instead of just amber off, amber off. So you still get light regardless if your turn signal is on or off. As well, when your turn signal is on, you get this pretty bright light. It doesn't look like much from here, but it's pretty bright when you're actually driving. And just as a comparison point to show you I'm not making stuff up, the turn signal is not on here and there is no light on there. But if the passenger side turn signal was on, then, well, that little turning light right at the bottom there would be on. Overall, pretty nice, and it's got the upgraded headlights, so it looks really, really sharp. I like the little subtle design lines in here. Nice LED lights. And that little bonus perk, it says Cadillac on the inside of the housing. So pretty nice move there. I love the color. It's, I believe, mocha metallic or metallic mocha, one of the two. It looks great from here, but yeah, it's mocha metallic. It looks pretty good. Let's take a quick look at the wheels. A little busy for me. And what I don't like about it is, let's get down to the side and show you. It's kind of the lug nuts are pushed out as opposed to being in and flush there. Yeah, not the biggest thing for me, but just something to point out. These are also upgraded wheels as well. Taking a look at the side profile, we'll just back up a couple steps. Pretty good shape. You can't really do much with the crossover without making it look too crazy and ridiculous. So I like what Cadillac's done. Nice, very traditional design. A little bonus perk here, it does say XT6 right down at the bottom. Turn signals in the mirrors. Cadillac logo without any colors. It's just, well, just one color as you can see, and kind of a weird move, but hey, that's okay. I would have liked it to be the full logo. Oh, one other cool thing here. You can't really see it because it's kind of daylight. Well, it is daylight. I'll show you a look there. But I'm in an underground parking lot because you can see this isn't dirt. This is just rain and water because it was raining and sleeting and snowing. This part actually lights up at night, and that's kind of a cool move. I really, really like that. And there's your push button to get in. Let's take a quick look around the rear. So LED turn signals, and they are, that focused up for you guys, vertically opposed, so pretty nice. XT6 badging, all-wheel drive down there. And the 400's a little weird because, well, it's supposed to represent torque, but it's torque in Newton meters, and it's not 400, it's 370 something. So I think they're grasping and pushing, but yeah, that's okay. Let's open this up for you. So 3 different levels of cargo space. It's a 3-row crossover. So the cool thing here is you can do it all electronically. So I'm going to use left and right at the same time. Push them down. Or is it the wrong? Oops. Yeah, I was pushing up when I should have pressed down because, well, down would be the obvious one to press. So there is a look at your second stage of cargo. And now I'm going to push these seats down. And this time I'm actually going to press the right buttons. Take a look. All right, so there you go. There is your cavernous cargo space. Again, cargo figures were on the screen. So pretty functional, not too bad. And that's gonna wrap up the outside and this part. Let's go inside, take a look at rows 2, 3, and 1. Take a look inside the XT6, starting with the middle row. They are both on rails and they are both reclinable. As you can see, there's a pretty big difference between the configurations. The far one, all the way forward, all the way straight up. This one over here behind me, all the way back and all the way reclined. So different shape, sizes. Should be comfortable. Let's take a quick look at the HVAC controls. Very similar to what you see up front. You get 3-stage heated seats for the outboard passengers, direction of air, and your temperature higher or lower. If for whatever reason, I'll keep the flub in. If for whatever reason you need to get to the rear seat, simply pull this little tab beside the headrest, and 1, it pulls the seat back up, and 2, lift it again or hang on to it, and the whole thing slides. So now you can kind of just drop one foot in there in front of the other and make your way to the rear seats. Cool thing here is they're powered. So if I want these down for whatever reason, do that, and down they go. And alternatively, if you want them up, just push the up buttons, hang on to them, and there you go. So, a bit of a quirk for me is this, because it's not indented, and every time I've gone to put my hand in, I've kind of not hurt my knuckles, but they've touched that, as opposed to almost every other vehicle I've been in where it's indented and there's actually room for your fingers. So and call it an irk, not a big fan, but there's some storage in here, which is kind of a cool thing. A little more storage in here, and if you want to have your rear hatch open all the way, you can do that. If you want it to go to 3/4 of the way, set it there. Or if you don't want anyone to have access to it, just set it down there. I wish that it was the other way, so the max 3/4 and off were this way here. It's kind of hard to see that little black dial, which is the black dot, which is right at the end of my fingertip, but you know what, that's okay, because if you're owning and driving the vehicle full time, you'll know. Looking at the seats, thigh bolsters, not too bad. Side bolsters are really, really nice. I like the pattern. It's very, very simple, but looks really cool, and it's kind of got that Cadillac, it's not quite straight, but kind of arced into the bottom, and you can see the specific stitching dropping down a little bit. Nice little Cadillac, not a full logo, but partial logo up there. Looks really nice. Let's jump in, take a quick look. Analog dials on the outside, and you get your digital screen in the middle. Let me kill the volume because I don't want to get dinged by YouTube for accidental copyright infringement. Really nice layout, very easy to obtain information and very easy to see. I'll touch on this in the driving portion, but you see it says V6 there. It does have cylinder deactivation, so it goes down and says V4. If you're at very low speeds, if your foot's off the gas, or you're at cruising speed. So it doesn't work as well as I'd like it to, or as often as I'd like it to, sorry, but it's still there. So cool move there. Perk, heated steering wheel button right on the steering wheel. Well done, Cadillac. Beautiful logo there, and a nice little design line in here, just that little spot there. It looks kind of cool. A nice pattern here, and let's quickly touch on that before we do the rest of it. It actually fades, and this isn't a shadow. It's just it's the actual pattern, and it fades to black around the outside. Looks like one of my guitars. Actually, a lot of my guitars are the faded sunburst. So really, really sharp, and there's a little more of that brown pattern there. I'm going to go back here for a quick moment. This is the upgraded Bose Performance Series. So it gets you 14 speakers. It's big, it's boomy, it's wonderful. Take a look at the 8-inch screen. And I've heard some people say, well, it's only 8 inches. It's 2020. Shouldn't it be like big and massive? My answer is no, because it gives me everything that I need out of it. I'm just going to tap the home button. It's the Cadillac CUE, the Cadillac User Experience, and it's really good. It's really responsive. Very little guesswork here, and everything's nice and easy to find. If you let's say you're in your settings and I don't know, for whatever reason you want to go home, but you don't want to touch that, simply just tap that button. Tap that button. I hit it twice, and then it takes you back here. So pretty nice, very easy to use, very well laid out. What's thrown me for a loop are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. So we got my 4 ways on. It's a light tap, but it's a little weird because I would much rather prefer like a physical touch button, kind of like, sorry, not that, kind of like what's on the steering wheel. Moving down is the HVAC system. Again, pretty easy to use. Let me see if you can hear the clicks on this. Again, I get it. It's cool. It's trendy. It looks really nice, but I want hard touch buttons. That's just my thing on that. I wish this was a little deeper. It does go down a bit on an incline, so things aren't quite as likely to fall out, but I just wish it was a little deeper. My iPhone 10 fits about 70% of the way, so it's a little more, guys, next year. That's my hope. Gear shifter, pretty cool. Push the button to get into park. Sorry, that is your park button, sorry. And just the button on the side, you push back, and that's how you get into drive. And you pop it up once to get into neutral, and yes, it lights up, and then up once more for reverse. While we're in reverse, I'm going to show you this because it's really cool, and one of my favorite parts of the inside. It's their high-def camera system, so that's your top-down, that's your rear, and this is cool. It's kind of got that superimposed look. So I purposely parked like a jerk just to show you how clear the camera is. So I'm like dead center in 2 spots. I hope nobody sees me, but anyways, it's a really cool look, and you can kind of see what's behind the superimposed look from behind as well. That's the front-facing camera because those are the little curbs. There's a little more. I'm not quite dead center, but I'm still parked like a jackass. So anyways, and it's a really cool look, and there's your door look. Kept the wheels turned on purpose. I'll just kind of turn them the other way to show you just how high def the camera is. I'm going to open up the door, and you can see that. I think a cool picture. Anyways, moving on. That's that. Put the car in park, and that's how their cool high def system works. 2 last things. If you don't want to use the touchscreen, use your joystick or your rotary controller. You can see just how easy it is to use. If you're wondering why this is here, I will show you because I just found it yesterday. Like a dummy, what I did was I put my USB cord on top, and you can see exactly where the kink is on it. Because, well, like I said, I'm a dummy sometimes. What I didn't realize is that there's actually space for it to go all the way in here. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. I'm going to thread that through there. Yeah, there it is. So it actually goes right through. I'll show you, there's the end of it. And yeah, so good move, Cadillac, on making things nice and functional. Now, you just pull it through. And bonus points, they give you a little divot here to shut it, and down it goes, and no impeding of that at all. Cool move here. Oops, let me get that up before it falls. This is where your wireless charging goes. So there's the part where the back, let me get rid of this cable for a sec. There we go. Anyway, so that's where the back of your phone goes. There is your stop right at the bottom there so it doesn't fall through. So really nice move, Cadillac. Well done. Let's do the drive in the 2020 Cadillac XT6. Under the hood, it's a 3.6 liter V6, and it throws out 310 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque, all through a 9-speed automatic transmission. As far as driving impressions itself goes, it's pretty quiet in here, and luxury vehicles, it's kind of expected, so I'm happy that Cadillac has continued that with the XT6. This came out in June of 2019 as a 2020 model year. This is November 1st that I'm filming this, so it should be released maybe middle of November. And on the Cadillac Canada website, the 2021s are already up. No changes to it, but just a different year, different 4 numbers in front of the year for it itself. As far as what it's like to drive, the power is not lightning quick, but it is quite adequate, and it gets you where you're going. And yeah, it's a V6, no replacement for displacement. I like that it has smooth power delivery as opposed to it being kind of jerky and wobbly like some other vehicles are. So as far as kind of doing your straightaways, the XT6 does very well. Cornering handling, it's a taller vehicle. It is, as Cadillac Canada calls it, their mid-size plus crossover. So a little bit of body roll, and that's just due to the height of the vehicle. And it's the second biggest offering from Cadillac aside from the Escalade. There's 4 drive modes, and they are Touring, all-wheel drive, Sport, and off-road. I don't think off-road's going to get much use. Some, not very many. The Sport, kind of the same thing. I do think the 2 big ones will be Touring, and that'll take us through spring and summer, maybe into early autumn. And you just keep it in all-wheel drive for winter, and you put a good set of winter tires on, and you are all set. And I think it's cool that Cadillac allows you to bounce between front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. It's a nice way to make the most of your vehicle and get full year-round usage out of it. A lot of vehicles now are either all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, and you've got to jump up the trim ladder to get to the all-wheel drive option. Regarding fuel consumption in liters per 100 kilometers, because I'm Canadian, this vehicle is Canadian, and I am in Canada, it's 13.5 on city streets. It is 9.7 on the highway, and your blended total comes out to 11.8. And all of this runs on a 83-liter fuel tank. Pretty big, but again, it's a pretty big vehicle. Depending on what you have in the vehicle, who you have in the vehicle, how you're driving, all of that will affect your fuel consumption. The list of standard safety items on the 2020 XT6 are on the screen, and as you can see, they are pretty lengthy, and I'm thrilled that Cadillac has decided to include so many of these features as standard fare, whereas we still have a few stragglers who are not putting as much standard safety as the rest of the manufacturers are, so I'm really happy that Cadillac is jumping on board with this. There are some packages you can get if you want to put a few more bells and whistles on your XT6. There is a premium package, and I'll put a list of what is included there. There's the enhanced visibility and tech package, and that should be on the screen right about now. Just wanted to give you some time to read the other one. I'm at a stoplight, and the last one is the driver assistance package. And during that little stall of mine, you now can see what's on that package as well. Depends on what you want out of the vehicle. Some want everything, some are fine with just give me a little bit of this and that, and I'll be okay with the rest. The seats are very comfortable in the XT6, being stuck in stop and go traffic for most of the week. I didn't get any driver fatigue at all. Creature comforts are all within reach. Steering wheel is nice, thin, but not too flimsy. Cadillac's infotainment system, very easy to use, very easy to pull all your information out of. And overall, it's been a really good experience that I've had this week in the 2020 XT6. That's gonna wrap it up for the 2020 XT6. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate the support. Support. That's not even a word. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for the support. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I can't believe I made up a word on camera. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Be well, be healthy, be safe. Feel free to make up your own words, and I'll be back sooner than later with my next review.